Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as what? Epic Fantasy, that's right. And this is my latest tutorial. Fun and easy project. You can put this together in no time at all. I give you practically everything you need. This is a Game of Thrones project, and it is how to make Longclaw. That's right, that's Longclaw. See that? Fun project. And you can use foam board or cardboard for this project. And I give you the template, right? What you do is you print this up on your printer, cut out the pieces, put them together, and then use that to trace onto your foam board. And you can glue this together, paint it up, and you have Longclaw. So fun and easy project. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you might want to make it. And this sword is pretty strong. You can actually carry this around and use it a little bit. You know, I mean, it's got good strength to it. You know, it's pretty simple and easy project. And you'll have it done in no time at all. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for subscribing if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. That way you can stay updated on the stuff I do. I do 2 videos every week. I got all kinds of stuff coming, all kinds of creative stuff in a lot of different subjects. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. Ask me a question. I do read almost every single comment, and there's a lot of them, but I go through them and I respond to a lot of comments too. Thank you very much. Let's launch into the introduction, and then let's do how to make Longclaw, big sword, from Game of Thrones. Thank you. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model boxes, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Let's take a look at what you're going to need to make this project. The template you can download on the website, some paintbrushes, some foam for the pommel, glue or a hot glue gun, a craft foam, black and white electrical tape, and paints, which are black, silver, and copper, and some clear glue for the little crystals that go in the pommel's eyes. And not shown is some masking tape or painter's tape so you can do the fuller. So print up the template, cut out the pieces, and trace them onto foam board, just like this. If you have the large foam board, 40-inch foam board, it makes it a lot easier. The sword is so big, you can actually tape those pieces together, put them on the large piece of foam board, and then cut them out as individual pieces. But if you have the smaller, normal size foam board, you do this. You cut out all the various pieces, and then you glue them together like this. So it'll form a stack of 3, which makes it very strong. It's 3 thick. And they interlock or overlap in a way that there's no weak points in the sword. See, in this, I'll just show you here, if you have the larger foam board, it makes it so much easier. You can actually have whole pieces. And there's specific directions in the template that show you how the pieces go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, D, E, like that. And there you go. It's a nice sword. It's built. So sand down the rough edges, particularly on the sides. And see that right there? There's some hot glue. You might want to sand those down if you want to. So now let's paint it. Mark it off by the template or by the picture, just like this. So you know which part is the guard, and which part is the blade, and which part is the handle or the pommel. Paint it a base coat of primer white first. Then paint it silver. And if you have trouble with those lines, you can use painter's tape or masking tape. Painter's tape is better to mark it off and cut it out, so then it makes it very easy to do. See how you paint it like that, and the blade looks good.
Nice apples in the shop. We eat healthy here at Storm the Castle.
And now let's paint the guard copper colored. And the copper was a little bit too bright for us, so we dulled it out a little bit with some silver paint. Now let's do that handle. Use your black electrical tape like this, cut some pieces to get that border between the handle and the guard just right, like that. Then wrap the whole thing with electrical tape. And do some of the smaller details with some small pieces of tape to finish off the handle. Like around this spot here, see it? You want to finish it off so it's all, everything but that guard is covered with tape. So now the writing on the handle, that's where we use the craft foam. Cut yourself a nice piece like this. It's actually 5 inches long. And I'm going to show you something here when it comes to the lettering on there. You're going to make 2 of these, one for each side. And each side has a different inscription. So use a ballpoint pen to write that inscription, to emboss that inscription on the craft foam. And you want a little bit of room all the way around the words, particularly on the left and right there, so you can tape it down to the handle. So go ahead and do that, tape it down. And then if you want, paint over it with black, particularly that foam board there. See, excuse me, the crafting foam. And if you lose the lettering a little bit, you can touch it up with a little bit of silver or white paint. So now let's work on the pommel. Cut out something about the right size out of foam and sand it down so it's got a nice shape, just like this. Then in the template is the wolf's head. Cut that out. Tape it to the pommel. And then press on that with a ballpoint pen so that is embossed onto the pommel. Both sides do this twice, on this side and on the other side. That looks really good. Then you can go ahead and paint that up. Oh, but first, use some kind of a tool. We're using a Dremel, but you can actually use an X-Acto knife and a pick tool or something like that to carve it out so you can fit it over the end of the sword. And then touch it up with paint. White, some white paint, some black paint, anything you want. Looks really good. So now we're going to put some jewels in the eyes. And improvise anything you got. And use some kind of a glue that is either clear or dries clear when putting them in so those gems shine nicely. Like little rubies. Couple more things remaining. Now, if you have a white electrical tape, wrap it around the end of the handle like this. So it looks just like that when you glue the pommel on. That's it. One more thing, the fuller. Draw some lines, 2 lines down the center of that whole blade, 1/2 inch apart. And at the end, you're going to form a crescent shape. Mask it off and cut out that crescent shape like this. because that's the way a real fuller would look. Now you want it to be like an off silver color, so we mix some gray with silver and then painted that right on. Now a quick tip is make sure the other paint is dry before you do this layer. And then once that layer is dry, you can peel off your tape and you have the fuller. And that's it, the sword is done. Congratulations, you have made a Game of Thrones sword, Longclaw. Looks good. If you make this project, make sure you send me a picture. I will put it on my website. I have lots and lots of projects here on my YouTube channel and on my at stormthecastle.com. I like it. Let's take a look at some other Game of Thrones projects that we have. We have a Game of Thrones diorama. We also have the Iron Throne, how to make a coin from the game, a metal coin, and the sword Ice. Thank you.